Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I welcome all of you for today's sitting, 51st session. And I thank you very sincerely from the bottom of my heart for your association. We'll proceed to discuss the wonderful Lilamrt of Srila Prabhupada. Before that, we will chant the Mangalacharanam prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mayam Dadati Swapadandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Once again, a very warm welcome to all devotees. We are continuing Srila Prabhupada's Lilamrt, and now we are going to be discussing about how three amazing early temples of ISKCON in India manifested at the desire of Srila Prabhupada. So the three temples are Radha Rasbihari Temple in Juhu, Bombay, Krishna Balram Temple, Radha Shyam Sundar Temple in Vrindavan, and Radha Madhav Temple in Mayapur. Radha Madhav Ashtasaki Vrinda Temple in Mayapur. It's also called Mayapur Chandrodaya Mandir. So these three temples were personally manifested at the desire of Srila Prabhupada, and we are going to be seeing the story of how it happened. We are in the period between 1971 and 75. How Krishna amazingly manifested these three temples for the sake of his devotee who desired to offer these amazing temples for Lord Sri Krishna. So this reciprocation between the pure devotee and the Supreme Lord is something that we are going to relish in the next several weeks. So we are going to be now talking about Mayapur, where Prabhupada is right now in Calcutta and is planning the Mayapur temple. But we should not imagine that during this period, this is the only thing Prabhupada did. Prabhupada does unlimited things every day, like, for example, translation of his Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and so many other books he was writing. He was personally guiding devotees around the world. He was writing hundreds and thousands of letters regularly, and he's overseeing the work of so many centers across the globe sitting in one place, uh, where there is required chastisement, where there is required appreciation and constant encouragement and pushing to do better and better and better. So Prabhupada, his hands were full. But we are selecting three important events that happened during this period. We will be also talking about other things, little, but the focus will be on the manifestation of these temples. So we have already seen last week how Srila Prabhupada was planning for Mayapur. When he spoke, both the devotees and other architect professionals who were assembled, their jaw dropped. What he is telling, what he is planning. This is something. Uh, ISKCON is not so big that he can command millions of dollars. And Prabhupada is talking about building one temple in Mayapur, some remote corner of India. What to speak about the rest of the world? A remote corner of India. He wants to spend millions of dollars to establish a temple like no other in the whole globe. They can't imagine how this money will come and in this remote place, how they will build, where the engineering will be available, how this and who will visit the temple afterwards. What is the whole purpose of this huge edifice? But Prabhupada is not daunted by all such thoughts. Prabhupada is proceeding with making some amazing plans for what kind of temple will come in Mayapur. So first of all, large guest house. We have already discussed how it will run east to west so that the sunlight will be more favorable, the breeze will be more favorable, and it will be the rooms will be spacious, well ventilated, electric lights, fans, and modern toilet facilities, everything. For his Western devotees, Prabhupada is planning, you have sacrificed so much for me. Now I should make it so comfortable and convenient for you to stay here in the Dham and to do bhakti. You should not be disturbed by mosquitoes and rats and lack of running water, now proper toilets. You should not have problems. You should be able to serve the Lord 24 hours without any inconvenience. This is how the spiritual master thinks for the disciples. Of course, the disciple thinks in the opposite way. The disciple thinks, I will do anything for my Guru Maharaj. I will give my life. I am ready to accept the most inconvenient situations, including I will go to hell if it will please my spiritual master, if there is some service for my spiritual master. That's the mood of a devotee. So this reciprocation happens. So Prabhupada wanted the guest house to come first. Other things will follow. Temple, everything will follow. But first of all, guest house. And there'll be residential building for 500 devotees. In the very first initial stage, Prabhupada is planning. And there'll be large prasadam hall where thousands of people can have prasadam at the same time. And a matching kitchen complex to cook nice, palatable food items for the devotees. And there should be a goshala where hundreds of cows will be kept. And then the cows have to graze. You cannot keep them all cooped up in one tiny corner like modern farms, they do like that. Right? They may have 100 cows in a small area and the food will be thrown in front of them. They have to go on eating morning to night. Munch, 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 munch. It's not like that. There will be pasturing grounds. Prabhupada wanted the cows should graze freely, open pasturing grounds. And then in due course of time, ISKCON will acquire more and more land. Right now they have 4 acres, but they buy more and more land and develop parks, flower gardens, trees, shrubs, fountains, walkways, arbors. Like that, Prabhupada's plan is. And they are simply listening from where the money will come for all these things. So in this way, Prabhupada is exactly like his spiritual master. In every little way, Prabhupada is exactly like his spiritual master, who would always plan huge plans for temples like Bagh Bazaar temple. He will make sure that there will be always shortage of money. So when somebody gives a big donation, Saraswati Thakur will plan something 10 times the size of the donation so that that money will be very insufficient. He wanted to keep his disciples on their toes. They had to go preach and bring the Lakshmi, bring devotees and execute these projects. He said, otherwise this mutt will become like any Mayavadi mutt, where people go only so that they will make sure, oh, in this mutt I'll have 3 nice prasadams a day and I can go to peacefully sleep comfortably. I will have some little service, I can do that, but nothing else. Money will come from donations and we will enjoy. So his guru made sure that this is not a sannyasi mutt day where you can just sleep all day. So he will always make sure that there is no money for tomorrow running the mud. There is no money for buying rice and sabji. He would keep that situation because all the money will go in the building. Huge building is coming up. All the money is spent on cement and steel and bricks and other things. No money. So hand to mouth existence. So similarly, Prabhupada, he's making huge plans. And whatever Lakshmi, where it is coming from, mostly coming from book distribution and some donations here and there. As yet, ISKCON is not such a big movement. We are talking about 1971. It is becoming famous, known to people. But you remember, you let us look at ourselves. Are we willing to open our wallet and give donations liberally? Even if we like some particular philosophy, a particular guru, we appreciate, but how much are we willing to give donations? We have so many thoughts. The moment we think of a donation, we think, oh, but I have to keep something for my family. I may have some medical expenses, and I am planning a house, or I'm planning a renovation of my house. I have to keep enough, and I'm becoming old. I may not go on earning money. So many thoughts, and we at the end of the day we may start planning. Okay, I will give 10,000 rupees, and after all the thought process is over, I will conclude, no, 100 rupees is good enough. Maybe I will give it next month. So from where the Lakshmi will come? Prabhupada is planning. So in this way, Prabhupada said, Mayapur Chandrodaya Mandir, the height should be at least 300 feet high. 300 feet high. And it will cost tens of millions of dollars. From where the money will come? So architects and devotees are astounded. Prabhupada's plan is grander than the United States Capitol building or St. Peter's Cathedral in Moscow. The central dome of the temple will sport a three-dimensional model of the universe. The 14 planetary systems will be depicted in the three-dimensional model. Not only that, so starting from the lower planetary systems, the hellish planets, the Pitrulokas, and the middle planets, and the superior heavenly planets, and then up to Brahmaloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka, Brahmaloka, up to that, the whole universe. And beyond that, Mahesh Dham, Dham of Lord Sadashiv, and then the whole Brahma Jyoti, and beyond within the Brahma Jyoti, there will be the spiritual planets, Vaikuntha planets, and among the Vaikuntha planets are the crest jewel, the Goloka Dham. All this will be depicted in that central dome, 300 feet high. From there it will hang. So this is Prabhupada's plan. And this is going to change the way the world looks at spirituality. People will come and be transformed. There is a plan. Because it is predicted by Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, that this will happen. This will happen. And after that, it will attract crowds from all over the world, and then there'll be a golden age. So this temple perhaps is the commencement of the golden age for the next 10,000 years. This will be the central beacon, the lighthouse of spirituality for the whole planet. So this is what Prabhupada is planning, but others don't understand. They are asking, why this? You call it the ISKCON World Headquarters? But Prabhupada, we already have our headquarters in Los Angeles. We have built such a beautiful temple, and you yourself appreciated such a beautiful temple we have. So Prabhupada says, that was for that time. Now India becomes the focus. And this is where the world headquarters will be there, in the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya. So Prabhupada has to do a lot of convincing to all these people who are listening. Why such a fabulous architecture you are planning, and in such an obscure part of the world? Obscure part of the world, why? So Prabhupada has to give an answer. So Prabhupada is going to answer that. Let us see what Prabhupada says. Right? Answer, Prabhupada explained, was that Mayapur was actually not obscure. Please listen carefully. I am reading from the book what Prabhupada spoke. Prabhupada explained, Mayapur was actually not obscure. It is not as remote as you all think. Actually, even today, by our standards, it's a remote place. To reach Mayapur is not easy. First, you have to go to Calcutta, and from Calcutta, about 130, 40 kilometers, you have to travel on very difficult roads. Now the road is slowly developing, but Still, it takes 4.5 hours, and there could be heavy traffic. They are now trying to widen the road, make it a more smooth road, and all that. But imagine 1971, there must have been mud roads, or maybe they were also not there. Who would care to put roads, 130 kilometers north of Calcutta? Calcutta was everything as far as Bengal was concerned. There was nothing else. So, in that condition, Prabhupada is planning the grandest temple in the whole world in Mayapur. And Prabhupada says it is not actually obscure. And Prabhupada says it seems so only from the mundane perspective. So your vision is mundane. In America, the roads are like, glass, so smooth, and the vehicles are just gliding on the roads at the speed of 100 miles per hour. And there is so much opulence everywhere, huge skyscrapers, huge offices, huge houses, and there is so much wealth. It is the economic capital of the whole world. So you think New York is the center. That is your mundane perspective. But the soul and the next life appear remote to you people. The soul appears remote. But actually, soul is the center, correct? If I am here, what is my center? It is a soul. It is so invisible, smaller than a dot on a piece of paper. One dot you keep, it is even smaller than you don't see it only. 10,000 of the tip of the hair, almost invisible. It is invisible actually. So tiny that soul, so I don't care for it. I don't see it, I don't smell it, I don't taste it, I don't hear it, so I don't care. The soul appears remote to me. My body, the needs of my body, the needs of my material senses, the needs of my family and my surroundings and my relatives, my economic needs, my political needs, my social needs, my physical needs, my health needs, they take priority. And who cares for the soul? Is it not? If people really cared for their soul, the world will not be what it is today. So Prabhupada is saying, you people have such a mundane vision. To you, the soul appears remote. And similarly, the next life appears remote to you. But is the next life really remote? Just as this life we are presently leading appears so real to us, the next life is as real. Maybe even more real, because in this life I have already spent the bulk of my life. There is not much left. The next life is coming closer. The present life is going farther away from me. Is it true? Not true. The present life is actually going farther, and the future life is coming closer to me with every passing day. But the next life appears remote to us. And we are so busy enjoying our sense gratification in this present life. So the whole thing is, with our mundane vision, what is important doesn't appear important to us. And what is unimportant occupies all our time. So Prabhupada is saying that. While the body and the immediate sense gratification seem central to our existence, and the soul and future life appear remote to us. Prabhupada says, by establishing the temple of human understanding in Mayapur. So this is not only temple of Vedic planetarium, this is also the temple of human understanding. In Mayapur, Srila Prabhupada would be directing the materialistic world's attention back to the true center. So what has happened? We have moved away from the center. And that is why we are suffering so much. Long ago, when I was new to ISKCON, I attended one Bhagavad Gita introduction course. In that course, the teacher explained so nicely why there is so much of clashing of interest in this world. He gave the example, you take a small pond, placid pond, the water is still, no breeze, no disturbance, very clear crystal water. It is so stable, still. And you take a stone and you throw it into the water. Then ripples will start from the center and start expanding to the edge of the pond. You take another stone and drop it exactly where you dropped the previous stone. Again, a set of ripples will start, but you will observe that the new ripples and the old ripples, they will never clash. They will just keep moving in each ripple will keep the same distance from the previous, and they will not clash. You drop any number of stones at the center, there will be no clash. But the moment you start dropping stones all over the pond in different places, one stone here, one stone there, immediately every ripple will start clashing with every other ripple, and there will be chaos in the water. So this is the problem of human society. Each of us consider themselves the center of the creation. Bhoktaramigetaprasham sarvalokamaheshwaram suridam sarvabhutanam yatva mam shanti mrichati. We have to know Krishna as the center. He is the proprietor, enjoyer, controller of everything. And everyone should serve Krishna. Rishikena Rishikesha Shevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. All of us should consider that we are all servants of Krishna and Krishna is the only enjoyer. And in every living entity, the center is the Supreme Soul, who is the same personality, Krishna. He sits in the heart of every living entity, right? Sarvasya cha aham hridi sannivishto. I am sitting in the heart of every living entity. So if we realize that I am not the center, Krishna is the center. And everyone realizes Krishna is the center and they start serving Krishna. Then there will be no clashing. So actually the problem is we have forgotten the center, and that's why the world is experiencing so much of turmoil. So Prabhupada explains that. And then Prabhupada says, any sincere visitor to Mayapur will be charmed by the beauty of the project. Prabhupada is looking into the future. Prabhupada always has the ability to look into the future. One time, as I explained, Prabhupada was sitting in New York on park bench. He was alone. He had gone new. He was homesick also, thinking, oh, I have come so far away. So Prabhupada was sitting in one corner of a park bench. Another bus conductor was sitting in the other corner. And he started a conversation with Prabhupada. Because he was attracted by the appearance of Prabhupada, the serene look of Prabhupada, how he was peacefully sitting and he was in a very meditational mood. So he asked, who are you? What are you doing? He says, I have started a spiritual movement and we have temples all over the world. And each temple is brimming with disciples jumping and dancing. Jai Sachinandan. The whole world is reverberating to the sounds of the holy names. And only time is separating us. So Prabhupada could clearly see the future. So here also Prabhupada is saying the future. Right now, there is nothing in Mayapur in 1971. It's all farmland. It's all paddy field, fully irrigated by the Ganga. And it's all so fertile, paddy field, muddy everywhere, soft soil and mud, fertile alluvial soil where 3 crops minimum paddy they are growing there. But nothing else. Here and there, small houses, Mayapur, absolutely nothing. It's not a town. It's not even a panchayat. It's almost nothing. So, but Prabhupada says people will be attracted and they would perceive that here is the center of the spiritual world. And the devotees living in Mayapur, by remaining constantly immersed in singing Hare Krishna, Kirtan, and discussing the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada is now explaining, because Mayapur is nothing, so Prabhupada is going to create a city there, not just a temple. Prabhupada is going to prepare a city. The temple will be the center, like the spiritual world, the center is Krishna, like that. This temple will be the center of Mayapur and a whole city will grow around it, ISKCON city, of 50,000 devotees. The city will consist of 50,000 devotees. What they will be doing? They will be singing Hare Krishna Kirtan and discussing Krishna consciousness philosophy. Wherever visitors go, they will see this happening. Everywhere they'll be hearing Kirtan, Hare Krishna, and everywhere they go, somebody will be discussing Bhagavatam, somebody discussing Bhagavad Gita, somebody on first canto, somebody on 10th canto. Constantly hearing, and there are temples, and in temples there is wonderful worship going on, artis round the day, nice bhoga offerings, nice prasadam being distributed to people, whoever comes there. So, and when they see it, they will be convinced, any intelligent visitor will be convinced that the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are the highest truth. Highest truth. The devotees will explain the philosophy of the absolute truth, and this will enable the visitors to comprehend actual spiritual truth beyond sectarian religious dogma. Prabhupada explained, we are not Christians, we are not Muslims, we are not Jews, we are not Hindus. People, by seeing us, by seeing our culture as very close to Hinduism, they may think we are Hindus. We are not Hindus. The moment you say Hindu, you are drawing a boundary that I am Hindu, you are Christian, you are Muslim, you are Jew. You have your God, I have my God. I have my way of life, you have your way of life. The moment you accept a particular religion, so-called faith, then you are making a distinction between you and others, right? Us and they. So Prabhupada says, clearly we are not a religious movement. We are not a sectarian movement. We are a universal movement. We are there for the souls, not even human beings. Human being is one of the 84 lakh species. We are not looking at the body. It is a dress. Really, we are all souls. And as souls, we are all part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. And our business is to serve Him. But we happen to know who is the Supreme Lord. Most people of other religions, or even Hinduism, they don't know. If you ask who is the Supreme Lord, they will look here and there. They won't. Even the greatest of Pandits, the so-called experts in the Vedic scriptures and Puranas, if you ask this pointed question, what is the absolute truth? Do you think anyone will say Krishna? The moment you say absolute truth, they will think it is some principle or some philosophy, some energy, some force, some guiding principle. They will not say it's a person. So that is the key, that central understanding that Krishna is a person. So that is the major contribution that ISKCON is doing. And in that way, ISKCON is not a Hindu movement. It's not a Hindu movement. Even though Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata, Chaitanya Charitamrita, everything is apparently within the Hindu fold, but this particular philosophy is beyond everything. It is for the whole world. The moment you think it is a Hindu movement, you will have all problems of approaching a Christian or a Muslim or a person of any other religion to accept. Even you will have difficulty approaching a Sai Baba devotee, or a person who is a Ravi Shankar devotee, or Jaggi Vasudev devotee, or Brahma Kumari. He'll say, no, I am an exclusive Krishna Bhakta. So you are all different people. So we have to understand, we are a universal religion. We are not an exclusivist religion, even though the rest of the world looks at us in that way. The rest of the world says, oh, you will only worship Krishna. You won't even worship Ram. And even in your Mahamantra, you don't say Ram first, you say Krishna first. Whereas actually Ramavatar happened in Treta Yuga and Krishna came only in the later Dwapar Yuga. See, even by seniority, Ram should come first. Why Krishna first? So you people are close-minded people. You won't accept Shiva and Vishnu as one. As Hindus, we are all broad-minded people, right? So they see ISKCON as exclusivist, but we don't see it that way. We want to embrace everyone by teaching them supreme absolute truth is not some vague principle or some jyoti, some light. It is a light that comes from the body of the Supreme Person. Light. So the light is not everything. The light is emanating from the amazing, effulgent body of the Supreme Absolute Truth, and He is a person. So that way, we should always be careful not to develop this mood of being a sect or a cult. It's not so. We should always be broad-minded, even though others may say you are close-minded, but in our heart, we should know that here is another soul. We are all part and parcel of the same Supreme Soul. Is there any life in this universe which is not part and parcel of Krishna? So we have to develop that mood. Then only we come to the platform of Madhyama Adhikari. Otherwise, we will remain Prakrita Bhakta. Without properly understanding, we will be simply attracted to the deity. That is also good. But we have to progress from that point. We have to go higher and higher and higher. From an ordinary devotee, we should become Madhyama, Uttama, right? You have to progress. So like that. So anyway, so Prabhupada has planned this, and Prabhupada wants to lay the cornerstone for this temple. And he wanted the prime minister of the country. He tried in many ways to bring the prime minister of the country or to bring at least the governor of the state. But when all the efforts failed, Prabhupada said, maybe it is Krishna's desire that not a mundane person should come and lay the foundation. He wanted a Vaishnava to lay the cornerstone, so I will do that service. So finally, it was Prabhupada who had to lay the foundation for Mayapur temple. And the monsoons came. And you can imagine monsoons in Bengal. The mighty Ganga is flowing, and our Mayapur project is so close to the river, and it just overflows the banks, sometimes breaches the banks, and the water is flooding everywhere. And the floods came into our land also, Mayapur land. And what was there in that time? It was only paddy field, but they were building one house for Srila Prabhupada. First, where Prabhupada will stay and direct the project. One hut structure. Many of you who went to Mayapur would have seen this. The 24-hour Kirtan place, where you have Gaurnita, you have Prabhupada deity, and in between there are Kirtaniyas constantly, 24 hours they are singing. That is the place which Prabhupada, and Prabhupada said, please don't dismantle this. Let it remain forever. When people come, let them know this was the beginning of this Mayapur project. As it goes on expanding, the center will always be there. People can go and see. This is where it all started. And later on, it was converted into a 24-hour Kirtan place where Prabhupada was always sitting and directing. Outside, it was floods, there was rats, there were snakes and mosquitoes, all these things. And here it was Prabhupada. That is what makes a leader. A leader is willing to accept all inconvenience and he leads from the front. Not like leaders of today, they are sending their soldiers to the most dangerous battlefield and daily reports 100 people dead, 500 people dead, 1,000 people dead. They go on buying weapons left, right, and center. They recruit 18-year-old boys. Sometimes they say 18 is not good enough. You go down 17, 16. Anyone who is fully grown, you take them and send them to the battlefield. But the prime minister of the country will never go to the battlefield to direct the war. They are safely sitting and announcing reports here and there. And people say, he's a great hero. This prime minister, why? He's fighting a big battle against a huge power. Great man. Where is the great? Has he ever visited the battlefield and seen what is happening to his people there? So this is modern world. But in those days, leading from the front, the general is always in the front. The king, even in chess, it is a king that you want to checkmate. That's the most important. The leader is always in front and leading, right? So Prabhupada was accepting all inconveniences and leading from the front. Okay, so when the monsoon came and happened, devotees came to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, it could have been much worse. But because this road is running, what is the name of the road? Bhakti Siddhanta Road. That acted as a dam and it prevented all the water from coming this side. Otherwise, it would have gone over our heads. So Prabhupada said, my Guru Maharaj will always protect us. There is a Bhakti Siddhanta Road. As we keep traveling on the Bhakti Siddhanta Road, we'll be always safe. So, saved by the Bhakti Siddhanta Road. So, anyway, Prabhupada returned from Africa to Bombay. He went to Calcutta, staying there for 18 days. And that was the time he stayed in the ISKCON Albert Road Temple, Minto Park, opposite to Minto Park, Albert Road, center of the Calcutta city. Prabhupada was so happy that my disciples have found such a place. And he said, never leave this place. We are still there at that place. Even though there is so much litigation problems, but we are still having the temple. And Prabhupada was so very happy. And the temple had some issues. Prabhupada settled those issues also. Let me try to briefly tell you something on these issues. When Prabhupada saw this place, Prabhupada became so happy because this is the place where Europeans used to live. Prabhupada is from Calcutta. So this is the place where Sahib section, Europeans used to live there. But now I am bringing the Sahibs from England to the Sahib section as my disciples. So Prabhupada is saying that this time they are all coming as Vaishnava. You should never give up this place, Prabhupada said. So some of the Calcutta devotees in the temple, they were complaining the temple is not managed properly and there is insufficient income, diet is not adequate. So Prabhupada spoke to the temple leaders and they said, Prabhupada, we are simply executing your will. And Prabhupada asked, is it my will that all the devotees should be disturbed? So then finally he settled all the differences. He arranged for improvement in the diet, and then he recommended a democratic election of temple officers. Prabhupada instituted this system where temple officers should be elected. But he also explained that we are not a democratic system. Democracy is an inferior system of management. So Prabhupada said, Krishna conscious movement is such an important mission. Devotees should cooperate. They should not fight for rights. They should cooperate, even if there are discrepancies. The material world is a ocean, and there will be always waves tossing us this way, that way. But we should remain focused on our central mission. So, like that, Prabhupada settled all these issues. Then Prabhupada spoke about the Mayapur plans, and his disciple Naranarayana, he created a model of the building in ISKCON. The whole design is by Prabhupada. He created a model like that. And Prabhupada showed to all the guests and requested them, please help us to execute this project. So Prabhupada was so much absorbed in the project. Giriraj, one of his disciples, is now Giriraj Maharaj. He asked him, Prabhupada, can I help you in any way? I find that two things you want most. He told Prabhupada, I understand that two things you want most. Okay. And what are the two things? Can anyone guess? Two things that Prabhupada very focused on. Giriraj, 1971, he is telling two things which are most important to Prabhupada. Even today, they remain the two important things. What are these two?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Is it book distribution, Prabhuji?
Yes. There is one, and the second.
Temples. Temples, Prabhuji.
Temples, yes, but one temple, which is the
Vrindavan.
Vedic Planetarium in
Okay.
Mayapur, the world headquarters, which is going to be the biggest spiritual structure anywhere in the world. So when Giriraj Swami said, these are the two things, for the books to be distributed and to build the temple at Mayapur, Prabhupada was smiling. He said, yes, thank you. So now we should know, as disciples and grand disciples of Srila Prabhupada, we should know that these are his two important missions. So we can always, 365 days, we should meditate on how to do book distribution. With mind, thoughts, and words, and actions, and with our finance, and whatever influence that we have, we should try to push the books of Srila Prabhupada. That will be very, very pleasing to Prabhupada. And when you please Prabhupada, Krishna is pleased. How easy it has become. Otherwise, we won't know how to please Krishna. Krishna is completely transcendental, Satchidananda Vigraha. We don't know what he wants. But now we know, if we satisfy a pure devotee, Krishna will smile upon us. And Prabhupada's mind is now very clear. Book distribution and building the temple of Vedic planet. We can always help in whatever little way we can send our Lakshmi to this project. Right? Forever it is going to stand there. And our little contribution will become our great treasure for our all times to come in future. Life after life, life after life. That little charity we have done for this temple will stand in our name. So my request to all devotees, please take these two things very seriously. However much we can help in the project in Mayapur, and however much we can help in distribution of the books. Okay. So then Prabhupada went to New Delhi. New Delhi, there was going to be a 10-day ISKCON Pandal festival from the next day. So Prabhupada went. And by now, we have already had Pandal programs in Bombay and Calcutta. Now, Delhi is happening. And Madras will also happen. So when Prabhupada went to Delhi, who received him at the airport? None other than the mayor of Delhi personally came to invite Prabhupada. And he had such a great impression about Prabhupada, so much reverence for Prabhupada, so much gratitude for Prabhupada, that he personally came there and glorified Srila Prabhupada and received him. So now you can imagine, if the mayor of the city is welcoming Srila Prabhupada, then what is impossible for this Pandal program? Huh? So in Bombay, Against all odds, they did a successful program. In Calcutta, there was the threat of the Naxalites all the time. That was a successful program. Here in Delhi, there is such a cooperative mayor and devotees because Delhi, we see it as a political capital, but Delhi is so close to Vrindavan. Delhi is so close to Vrindavan, and people are all the time going to Vrindavan coming. So, um, and somebody asking Prabhupada, why did you delay going to the West? You have gone at the age of 70. Why you did not go earlier? Prabhupada very humbly said, I wanted to develop myself to become a successful tool. I am only a tool. There is no glory to the tool, but even the tool has to be properly sharpened and put in shape. I was taking the time for that. But now I need lakhs and lakhs of preachers to spread the mission throughout the world. No, it's like a prototype. Any new product, first they develop a prototype model, correct? And they produce it on a very, very small scale. But then they scale it up. They have to expand it. They have to replicate it. And it has its own challenges. Like I make a small car and I have tested it and all those things. I have set up an assembly line. Maybe I'm turning out 10 cars, 20 cars, but I have to make in lakhs and lakhs. So I have to scale it up. Then I have to, so much money I will need, so much materials I will need, so many people I will need. The technology has to be developed further. So like that, Prabhupada is saying, I need now lakhs of preachers. So to prepare lakhs of preachers so that they can preach to crores of people. That's what Prabhupada is planning. And then there is an interview with the press reporter in Delhi. So I will go in some detail on this particular interview. The interviewer is asking Prabhupada, when you say Krishna, do you mean some eternal principle? Right? This is how Dr. Radhakrishnan wrote, correct? Dr. Radhakrishnan says in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna means not Krishna. Krishna is the eternal principle within Krishna. Krishna is a body that was born, that lived and died, like you and I. That eternal principle is there in you and me and everything. That is Brahman, like that. But Prabhupada replied, it's not some eternal principle, it is Krishna, Prabhupada said. I mean a person like you and me. He's a person, not some principle. And Prabhupada explained about Krishna, then suddenly there was siren going. And it was a blackout. People were shouting. Why? This is the month of August, September 1971. And there was so much tension between India and Pakistan. This was a time then Bangladesh problem was happening and there was a war on both sides, both East and West. The war started. So India was preparing for the war. War had not yet started, but preparing. Anytime the war will start. So they were blacking out. All lights went off. And so the press reporter became very tensed up. And in the dark room, he was still talking to Prabhupada. Sir, this is the presence of reality. He is thinking Prabhupada is talking some unreal things. Krishna, Supreme Personality, Eternal Principle. This is all some, high table talk. But this is reality, he's telling. This is the presence of reality. We are being threatened by this fight with Pakistan. The siren is the ugly reality coming to us. He's talking like that. He's telling Prabhupada. You know what Prabhupada said? We are always in the ugly reality. The reporter is saying, now the siren shows the ugly reality that the war can start. But Prabhupada says, we are always in ugly reality. 24 hours a day. Suppose there is no blackout, still, if you go in the street, there is no guarantee that you will get home. In this way, you are always in the ugly reality. The reality is always ugly when you look at the world with material vision. It is ugly. Why do you say only this blackout? This is just one of the features of the ugly reality, that's all. The reporter is saying, yes, but at the moment, Prabhupada says, you do not realize that you are in ugly reality 24 hours a day. You are talking about the moment. Padam yad vipadam. There is danger at every step. So here it's not a press interview anymore. Prabhupada is preaching. And Satsuru Maharaj says, it was always the case with Prabhupada. When reporters come, he will not see that he has a reporter, he has to give me some favorable publicity. I have to flatter him so that he will go and write something nice about ISKCON. People will then come to meet. Nothing like that. He will see reporter as a soul, as a bounded, conditioned soul, and he will preach. So Prabhupada is preaching. The reporter says, I know, sir, but this is collective national danger. Have you anything to offer as a remedy? Prabhupada, Krishna consciousness is our only remedy. Take this process and you will be happy. Reporter, sir, I think someone should go to Yahya Khan, the president of Pakistan. Prabhupada, what benefit will you derive by going to Yahya Khan? Reporter, someone is out to kill me. He is so scared. Someone is out to kill me. Prabhupada says, but suppose Yahya Khan does not kill you, will you be safe? Then what is the use of going to Yahya Khan? You will die today or tomorrow. If you want to save yourself, then go to Krishna. That is our proposition. Even if you go to Yahya Khan and he does not fight, then you mean to say you will live forever? What is the use of flattering Yahya Khan? Flatter Krishna so that you may be saved perpetually. Why don't you do that? Reporter, I was only thinking in terms of collective security. I can see your point. Prabhupada says, you should know that you are always in danger. Reporter, yes, sir, we agree. The late Einstein said the same thing. Prabhupada, that is our position. And Krishna says, I will save you. Therefore, let us go to Krishna. Why go to Yahya Khan? Reporter, simply because he is disturbing us, that's all. Prabhupada, your mind is always disturbing you all the time because it is always with you, not Yahya Khan, your mind. Your body is always with you. Are you not suffering bodily pains? Why don't you go to Yahya Khan to cure your body pains? You are always in danger. Why don't you realize that? Like that, they have a very interesting conversation. It goes on and on. But this is Prabhupada's focus. Do we have that focus? When we face a problem in our life, are we turning to Krishna as the one and only solution? Or we forget Krishna and start looking at so many other solutions? So it is explained that fear comes when we see the world as separate from Krishna. That is the source of fear. We come out of the temple and then we think, oh, this is the big bad world I am getting into. I am coming out of the temple. Now all around me is a big bad world. It's not like that. It's all Krishna only. And Krishna's energy. Krishna's energy and Krishna are non-different. Shakti and Shaktiman are non-different. So we should learn to see everything as Shakti of Krishna. You and I are also Shakti of Krishna. Marginal energy. And spiritual world is his internal energy. This material world around us is external energy. So everything is Krishna only. When you see like that, that puts an end to all your fears. The reporter is asking a hypothetical question. Suppose 100 pure, saintly, Krishna conscious people like you are meditating or discussing together, and someone comes along and throws the bomb. Prabhupada says, those who are Krishna conscious are not afraid of bomb. When they see a bomb coming, they think that Krishna desired the bomb to come. A Krishna conscious person is never afraid of anything. Bhayam dvitiya abhiniveshataha syat. This is what I explained. If you see anything as other than Krishna, then fear comes. So one who has the conception that something can exist outside Krishna is afraid. On the other hand, one who knows everything is coming from Krishna has no reason to be afraid. The bomb is coming and the devotee says, Krishna is coming. That is the vision of the devotee. He thinks, Krishna wants to kill me with a bomb. See, the devotee thinks, Krishna wants to kill me with a bomb. That is all right. I will be killed. That is Krishna consciousness. This actually happened. Prabhupada explained that during the Second World War, Prabhupada was in his house in Calcutta, standing on the first floor and making kachoris for Krishna, frying kachoris. And the bomb started falling. Again, the sirens rang everywhere. People were running, helter-skelter, run, run, save yourself, save yourself. They were shouting. Prabhupada never, he continued to make the kachoris for Krishna. And the bombs were falling all over the place. Prabhupada could hear bombs falling and exploding. But Prabhupada thought, oh, if now Krishna comes and takes me, how wonderful. Krishna is coming in the shape of these bombs. And if he takes me now, how nice. I am remembering Krishna. I am serving Krishna by making these kachoris. If he takes me now, my life will be perfect. So that's a Prabhupada's thing. Anyway, so then the reporter asked Prabhupada, so the Vaishnavas will never fight? He asked. Prabhupada replied, now devotees, can you guess what Prabhupada would have replied? Should I repeat the question?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Yes.
that the devotees will fight under the guidance of Krishna.
Wonderful.
Isn't it?
Wonderful answer. Wonderful answer. Exactly what Prabhupada replied. Thank you, Mataji. Well done. When the reporter asked if the Vaishnava would die without fighting, Prabhupada said the Vaishnava would fight, but only under the direction of Krishna. Exactly what you said. Vaishnava would fight only under the direction of Krishna. And Prabhupada cited Arjuna and Hanuman as examples. He continued to explain Krishna consciousness as the only solution, and the blackout ended. So this is a nice incident that happened when Prabhupada reached New Delhi. And then the Pandal program happened. Now the devotees are very well experienced. They have done Calcutta, they have done Bombay, so they have done Calcutta and Delhi. And they have also got a very cooperative people. There are many life members, and all the influential people are respecting and honoring Srila Prabhupada for what he has done. He has brought 40, 50 devotees from abroad. And they were such pure devotees. And when these influential people spoke to the devotees, they found how much surrendered they are to Krishna and to their Guru Maharaj. And they were all very, very impressed. They honored them as Vaishnavas. Even though, in India, there is a stigma. We say, oh, the Westerners, they have no culture, they have no ethics, they have no religion, and they eat cow meat, which is the worst thing. So they are Chandalas, Yavanas, they have no Varnashrama. But notwithstanding all these things, they accepted these people as Vaishnavas. And they respected him, honored them. Even though many of them are Mayavadis, but still they honored, despite the differences in philosophy, they respected them. And they were willing to help. So Tamal Krishna Maharaj, Tejas, Gurudas, they were all preparing for the Pandal program. Again, a huge Pandal in Connaught Place, very, very central part of Delhi. The mayor arranged everything. So Prabhupada's achievements were being talked about everywhere in Delhi. So as his stature, as the greatest Indian sadhu, no one equal to him, no one anywhere near him. That was accepted. Even though someone had gone much earlier to Srila Prabhupada, had met with some kind of a success in the West, and he was very young. It was his first exposure outside India. Still he went and did something. He traveled to many places and all that. But unfortunately, his mission was not very successful. Right? Nothing much happened in terms of changing or giving a new philosophy to the West. Main problem was he was not only an impersonalist, he was not a personalist, he was an impersonalist. And his philosophy was a little mixed up. Mixed up in the sense, he was influenced by the affluence of the West. He thought, what is the use of India going with its philosophy to the West? First, India should advance economically. India should become strong politically, economically, socially. Our people should give up all their backwardness. They should develop industries and factories and schools and colleges and universities like the West. And our people should build their bodies. Our people are so weak, simply eating rice and rice. They should eat meat. They should eat beef, if required, in order to keep the body strong. And Bhagavad Gita can wait. Go and play football. Build your body. So America, he went to influence America, but in turn, America influenced him. If you're not sufficiently strong, then this is what will happen. When you go out to preach, you should be very, very strong. Like Prabhupada. Prabhupada could not be influenced by anything. Prabhupada said, I have come to give you, I have not come to take anything from you. So this way, Prabhupada's success, they have seen. So many foreigner devotees are coming and temples are there abroad and it is growing in every continent. And this was a personalist mission, not impersonalist mission. And Prabhupada was never speaking his own ideas, which was not the case with this other personality. He was speculating. Even though he was speaking philosophy and scripture to others, when it came to implementation, he was speculating, what should I do? America is lame and India is, America is blind, India is lame. I will try to bring them together and together we will achieve something. But he was ultimately fully frustrated. One main reason is lack of faith in our own philosophy, lack of clarity in our own philosophy. But this is not the problem with Srila Prabhupada. So when Prabhupada speaks, there is no mental speculation. Correct? Perhaps, maybe it should have been done like that. Maybe it should have happened like that. Nothing. If anyone speaks like that, Prabhupada says he is a rascal number one. If anyone says it could be, it may be, perhaps. When you don't know, you say, I don't know. That will be honesty. But if you don't know and you want to become the teacher and you say, this is what I think, then you are cheating. Because every human being has 4 defects, we all know. So we are not looking to you to give solutions. It's already done. It is all there in the scriptures. It's already given. You don't do any more research. You don't do any more speculation. Take the answers from the scripture with the help of the parampara, with the acharya. And then you will have all the answers. So Prabhupada will always quote from scriptures. Even when Prabhupada went to America in the early days, people knew nothing about Indian philosophy. But Prabhupada would quote shlokas upon shlokas from the scriptures. No one would understand a word, but Prabhupada would always speak from the scriptures. Even though he's such a pure devotee, he can speak. What he speaks will be scripture. But still, he would always quote from the scriptures. So that protects you. You and I also. We could be very much tempted to speculate, actually. When somebody asks a question and you don't know the answer, we will find it hard to say, no, I don't know. I have to find out. I will ask. We will not have the honesty. Why not? We should say, look, I have joined the movement. I like the movement. I have read some books. I have understood something. But you have raised a new question. Maybe I don't know the answer, but I will go. The answers are there. Only I don't know. I will get the answers and give it to you. There is nothing wrong in doing that. But the dishonesty, the rascaldom is when you don't know the answer and you speculate. Prabhupada speaks about Darwin. Darwin's whole book is a speculation. He himself, I think it happened like that, it should have happened, like could have happened like that. And that is accepted by scientists. And that is being taught in schools and colleges. Prabhupada says this is rascaldom, number one. When you don't know, why you don't say that I don't know? So like that. Anyway, so they went and invited many important personalities from fields of politics, science, industry, armed forces. They all agreed to come. Even the American and Canadian ambassadors, they were very appreciative. One of them said, I am going to be away at that time, I cannot come. Another person said, I will come. They were very much appreciative because both in America and Canada, they have seen how ISKCON is working, how the young people are surrendering their lives to ISKCON, how this one old man has transformed the minds, the whole life of so many people there, and how Hare Krishna became the household word there. So anyway, I think our time is up. We'll stop here. We will continue from next week we will talk something about the Pandal program in New Delhi. What Prabhupada spoke, we will discuss that. Prabhupada gave very, very strong, powerful messages there in Delhi because this is the Indraprastha, right? Hastinapur. So Prabhupada speaks very powerfully about taking to Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada says, India is the spiritual capital of the world. Why you want to ape the West in terms of industrial development and technology? That is their domain. You can never catch up with them. You give them spirituality. That's what you are meant for. So this direction setting, Prabhupada did there. Very boldly, Prabhupada spoke there. We will see all that in the coming week. So if there are any questions, you may ask. Otherwise, we will conclude our session. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. It was amazing. I
Hare
really
Krishna.
liked Prabhupada telling that, why do you flatter Yaya? Can't flatter Krishna. So what a close relationship he has with Krishna. It's really amazing to hear, Prabhuji.
And same time, you see how simple it is. Huh? It is so easy. We are so much accustomed to flattering people to get some petty things done. And Prabhupada says, you will get everything from Krishna, flattering. You cannot flatter Krishna, but anything you say about Krishna will be an understatement. You cannot fully appreciate Krishna, like Brahma says. Nobody can fully understand Krishna and appreciate him. But to the best of our ability, we can flatter Krishna. We can glorify Krishna. And that will be the perfection of our life. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Krishna. Yes, Krishna.
Prabhuji, we are all blessed, Prabhuji.
Really.
Yes, because Srila Prabhupada has given such a huge literature regarding this Bhagavatam. And this, if you are regularly, we are attending the classes, we ourselves lost, Prabhuji. So really, we are all blessed. Really, there is no need of living in further, coming, and then we are not supposed to be to get more life, more duration of life. See, this is the evolution. This is the most essential. Today itself is the best day. I think I am thinking like that, Prabhuji.
Correct.
Ah,
Prabhupada says that. Why
Yes,
you want to come again to this dirty
Prabhuji.
world?
Yes,
Let it
Prabhuji.
be your last life.
Very beautiful wordings, and then particularly if you see this Bhagavatam, how he explains what is not in that Bhagavatam, Prabhuji. Everything is there. Everything is right from livelihood, right from taking birth to death and day-to-day affairs. Everything he knows. So this is a miracle, Prabhuji. Miracle. I am grateful to Prabhuji. I